Talking podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk. We're here to bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. How are you, Andy?
I'm angry.
You're angry?
Very angry. I gotta sit up for this one.
You are? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you're really... Yeah.
I have to get back into angry mode because...
You're in, gargoyle mode right now.
We've been laughing and joking the last, 20 minutes, and I'm not at all in the mood I was when I figured out what topic
we were going to do. Your pants are hanging up, and that makes me giggle. It's must be like seeing stockings hanging on the bathroom.
Over the mantle?
Not over the mantle, on the shower door.
Well, as we just said before you started recording,
yes.
You are taking up the entire railing. I had to take your stuff out of the dryer, put it in the hamper.
My pants
Laundry needs to be done.
My pants are all over my pants are 4 layers deep on the railing right now. The pants underneath, I guarantee are not dry at all.
Why is this making it into the episode?
Why not?
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's pretty personal, too.
We do have... What's personal?
Watch, everyone. It's your pants, layered pants. Yeah, everyone's going to say I did you dirty now.
Oh, God, stop it. Anyway.
You know who you are.
Okay. You know what?
What?
We have some rules.
Yeah.
And
what are those rules?
we have rules. We have 3 rules here at That Talking Podcast. No judgment, nothing personal, and please don't be a dick.
Yeah, which means don't lick me for the next 45 minutes, okay?
He's talking to the dog. That is not directed at me.
He means the dog.
He means the dog. He means Dad.
Oh, man.
But you're angry.
I'm always angry. When am I not angry?
What's going on? Talk to me.
I have had an exhausted week.
Yeah.
Between the heat and the humidity,
oh God,
and all of the plans and things going on,
yeah.
It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Topped off with just a very unpleasant afternoon today, and where to begin?
Unload, baby.
Unload.
Unburden yourself.
We have talked pretty frequently about. I don't even know if it's made it to air, but we've talked about double standards.
Oh yeah.
We have talked about doing what's right. We have talked about hypocrisy. That's what I wanted this discussion to be about.
You want to talk about hypocrisy?
I want to talk about all of it.
Go for it.
What was it? Sometime last week, I made you watch Do the Right Thing. Because...
You did, yes.
There was so much going on that just made me want to watch that movie again.
I figured.
It's not something I watch, frequently or anything like that, but there are moments that, it makes me just want to, revisit the themes in that movie. I saw that movie for the first time when I was 12 years old. So totally not age appropriate.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you have unlimited access to on-demand movies.
I saw it for the first time last week. I didn't like it.
It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
It didn't make me uncomfortable. I didn't like the way it was filmed.
I mean, that's kind of Spike Lee's thing. But,
yeah.
The title is,
Yeah.
It's there. It's all, the movie's about doing what's right.
Right.
Right by everyone, based on our rules. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of people, from what we've discussed at great length, don't seem to do nowadays.
No.
My biggest gripe is the fact that nobody uses their turn signals anymore. I see it all day, every day.
Yeah.
Look, it takes a lot to get me to explode. Not to get angry, but to explode. Mm-hmm. And when I see time after time after... Because I'm on the road for 6 hours a day.
I know.
After again and again and again, nobody signaling at a light, at a stop sign, at a busy... It doesn't matter. It pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because our insurance rates are through the roof. Accidents keep happening. A high school kid got killed on 7 last year.
Yeah.
What is it going to take?
Well, apparently death doesn't stop anybody.
And it bleeds into so many other things. Yeah. The carelessness that we see in the workplace, not just your job, not just my job, but businesses that we patronize.
Yeah. Customer service in general is just a failure at
Everybody this point. Just doesn't give a shit because of the fact that they think we're all fucked. Everyone just doesn't seem to care, so why should I? That seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. I don't understand what happened to taking pride in what you do, in the quality of what you do, in how you interact with people. What happened to consideration? What happened to generosity? What happened to What happened to kindness?
That's a good question. I wish I had an answer for that one. And I hate it. I truly hate it because the question is valid, but it's like there are people like you and me and people like us out there. We're not the only ones, but there are a limited number of people that we certainly interact with on a regular basis who understand that life is not drama. Life is not about what you can do for yourself. And there are very few people out there who hold on to that because most people do, as you said, most people do see the futility in it. Well, if no one else is going to act well or be a good person or do the right thing, then why should I be the black sheep and actually do the right thing? Why should I be compassionate? Why should I be kind when nobody else is? And it's that idea that, it's like one person has to break the cycle. One person.
I've been saying that forever. I've been trying to instill that in the kids.
Cycle. Yeah.
Because those who know me know the situation with my kids, and I tell the older one all the time, I go, you could be the one to break the cycle. Mm-hmm. You don't have to repeat everything that that's been drilled into you from birth.
Yeah.
And I try to be fair and unbiased at that point because I'm like, you don't have to do everything that I do. You don't have to think the way I think or make the same choices I do. You are absolutely 100% free to make your own choices, and I will not think differently. It's not even just him. It's everyone. As I've said in previous podcasts, I'm a conservative who's friends with a lot of liberals, okay? I don't think any differently of them because of their choices. That's their business. And I expect the same courtesy on my end.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice, but a lot of people have that double standard.
Yes.
And
most people live by at least one double standard, I think.
I don't care. If your choices are your business, okay? It's not up to me to criticize, it's not up to me to judge, okay? And I would expect the same courtesy because I want to be free to make my own decisions and not feel insulted or antagonized just because I believe a certain thing or think a certain way.
Well, you shouldn't have to, and that's the rub, isn't it? Because there's your double standard right there. There's your hypocrisy, is because you are not afforded, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, is that you are not afforded the same courtesy as you afford others. You do not stand in the way of others holding on to their beliefs, but they demand that you change yours.
Now, am I going to influence people? Not necessarily. I mean, I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to state my case and try and, do it as best I can in as a descriptive manner as possible to articulate my point, because I don't want to be responsible for changing anyone's mind or making anyone, do anything. Everyone should be free to think how they want. That's my opinion.
Yes.
Okay? That's not everybody's opinion.
That's a beautiful opinion to have.
But see, that's an opinion that a lot of people in my experience tout but don't exercise.
I agree. I 100% agree.
It's like you've been saying how people don't want equal rights. They say they want equal rights because they want to appear a certain way, but what they really want is just more for themselves.
Yes.
And that's disgusting.
People want to treat people well so long as they are agreeable. So long as you can pinpoint what a person believes and you agree with them, you will afford them all the courtesy and compassion that you have in yourself to give. But how dare someone hold on to a belief that you do not? Because that's where it all stops.
Friday afternoon, I had a dozen different arguments with a dozen different people. Now, some people think that I enjoy arguing, that I like to, that I get off on it or something like that. I hate, absolutely hate arguing. Yeah. I never play devil's advocate. I have no reason to. I want the best possible solution for all parties involved in every area of my life. Okay? That is genuine.
I think you enjoy a civil debate.
No, not even that.
No?
No. I am a people pleaser, okay? So I try to give everybody what they want. Even if it not if it means imposing on somebody else. Like, I want everyone to be able to have what they want on all sides. That's me.
Yeah.
Okay? Myself included. Okay? I will stand up for what I believe is right, as difficult as that may be at times.
Yeah.
But the wall that I keep running into is the fact that in pursuit of what I believe to be right, my judgment is still not trusted enough to the point where I can be left to my own devices.
Do you want to get specific? Did something happen? Do you want to get specific here? Because we're talking pretty vague right now. We're talking in very general terms right now, and let's sort of pigeonhole it.
Listen, I have had so many issues with my family over the years. I've had issues with bandmates. I've had issues with coworkers. I could go on and on and on forever. But the bottom line is I've tried articulating a point that I believe to be valid. I have tried to stand up for myself in a lot of areas and think, like, this is what I believe is the right idea, the right way to go, the right whatever for the situation calls for.
Yeah.
And a lot of times my ideas have been shot down. My attitude has been criticized. My intentions are misread.
Yeah.
And often disregarded.
Yeah.
And that really pisses me off. Because I'm trying to do the best I can for the most amount of people. And it doesn't seem to matter to anyone but me.
I think that's unfortunate. And I think that a big part of the misread and where that all takes place is, I think that's a big part of it, is the moment where intention is lost due to a misread. And I think that in my experience, when you try and explain to somebody that they misinterpreted your intentions or even your words, and they took you a certain way that you did not intend, if you try and correct them and say, that was not my intention, at that point they don't care. Because now they have something to be angry about, and everyone loves holding on to anger. Mm-hmm. What is that about? What the fuck is that?
Because that's your ammunition.
I hate anger.
That's your ammunition
so
for future arguments.
Ugh.
That's why people hold on to texts and emails and that. I'm guilty of that. I don't do it anymore. Ugh. Because holding on to all that stuff just gave me a reason to look at it again and think, like, why do I want to be back in that mindset? I don't.
I fucking hate it.
But the thing that I've been saying for years is that you can't interpret an emotion or a perception in a text. You can't convey any of these things because text can be read any way the person reading it wants.
Well, that's just it. And I think that is something, and not just text messages, any situation. Interpretation, I'm going to get deep here for a second.
Go for it.
Interpretation is not that. It is, in fact, projection. The fact of the matter is no one wants to admit that when they see someone doing something, acting a certain way, saying something, or emitting some sort of emotion, they read it as if that's how they would do it. And no one wants to fess up to that. No one wants to say, well, when you write a text message and someone responds, okay, there are a myriad of ways that can be interpreted, but the way that it's taken is always going to be the way that person would do it.
It's like if you respond to a text with a short answer.
Yep.
Everyone always automatically assumes the short answer means that person's pissed off.
Yes.
Or displeased.
Yep.
And that may not necessarily always be the case. But you cannot, just like I, cannot be held responsible for somebody else's interpretation.
No, and you shouldn't have to be.
But people expect that. They expect you to be the mind reader. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what the context of it is. Everyone wants you to be a mind reader. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants you to just know what they're thinking and know what they want at all times and then give it to them.
Yes.
And that's not right. That's not fair.
No.
And I don't care that the old saying is life isn't always fair. There was never a time before this where life should be more fair, given how far we've come.
Right?
With communication and technology and everything that we have available to us, we are just getting dumber.
Yes.
We are just getting more complacent and lazier, and it's
We're also completely failing in interpersonal relationships.
Absolutely.
We're losing all sense of, ironically, we're losing all sense of interpersonal communication. We are unable to hold conversations with one another at this point because we are too connected to each other. We are too connected. There is too much instant gratification where if you have to wait for someone to answer you because the technology is available for a response to someone's question or comment to be instantaneous, any delay in that response is going to be taken with some sort of animosity.
One of my exes used to get pissed that I would leave her on red.
I love that.
Who cares?
No,
I have nothing to say. If I don't have a prepared answer, like, what does it matter? I'll get back to you when we're in person, or I'll have an answer. I'll type an answer when I have one. But up until that point, I didn't even know leaving you on red was a thing.
Yeah, I did.
Totally oblivious to it.
There have been moments where you and I have been texting each other and, like, we'll sort of, like, randomly change the subject. Very non sequitur kind of conversations. And the fact of the matter is in the beginning of our relationship, it irked me. It didn't bother me. It didn't upset me or make me mad or anything like that. But, like, I would say something to you about something that happened to me or something that crossed my mind, and you would not respond to what I said so much as you would then say something else. And I brought it to your attention that you do this sometimes, and I asked you why, because it made me feel, based on my prior experiences with conversations in that way, it made me feel a little, not invalidated, a little unseen, a little less seen than I guess I wanted to. I want the things that I'm saying to you to be acknowledged. And you simply explained to me that you don't always have something to say about something that I say. And the fact of the matter is that I realize that it goes both ways. You sometimes send me texts or DMs or something like that I don't really have anything to say to.
And I don't look any further into it.
And I have, that has allowed me to actually sort of tweak my behavior when it comes to my people pleasing. And it makes me realize that I don't have to have something to say to everything that you, my husband, say to me.
You don't want to know what's really funny?
What?
Out of every relationship I've ever been in, you and I text each other far less than I've ever texted any other person I've ever dated. Whatever.
Well, we spend a lot of time together.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the
we
real
actually
conversations
spend a lot of actual time
happen
together.
in person.
Yeah.
The better conversations happen in person because 90% of the time, if we're texting each other, it's because we're at work, I'm at a show, whatever it is, and
a lot of the times it's pictures of dogs.
That too.
Pictures
Reels.
of dogs. Pictures of birds.
Yeah.
Reels
Possums,
and TikToks, possums, that
raccoons.
kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, like, and I feel like, have we gone off on a tangent?
Well, I mean, you know, we are expressing extreme displeasure with the state of open communication.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, it's a branch of the larger problem. And the larger problem is that people just don't care as much. They don't care as much about...
Is it maintaining interpersonal relationships?
It's not even just maintain... It's maintaining a degree of civility, of humanity.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you walk into the street and start talking to strangers about honor, morals, ethics, you know, things that used to mean something in polite society.
I think they'd automatically presume you're on a soapbox.
Or they'd ignore you or start laughing at you or think, what's that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry. I still believe in all of that stuff. Because that's how that's how you're supposed to treat people. That's how we were raised to treat people, with honor and with dignity and morality and ethics and compassion and kindness.
I wish I could remember where anyone out there in podcast land who knows where this quote came from, please tell me, because I can't remember where it came from. I know it came from somewhere. But it sticks in my head. I want to say it's an episode of Frasier. I'm not even kidding you. It sticks in my head the idea that ethics are what you do when no one is looking. And that sticks in my head because it's something that, like, truly people don't think about, I think. People think that whatever you can get away with for the betterment of yourself is what you are supposed to be doing.
Now, I am going to make an admission right here and now.
Okay.
I am absolutely 100% guilty of spending the better part of my life trying to get away with things, trying to get away with as much as I could without being seen, because that's how I was a young, dumb kid.
Yeah.
And somewhere between entering into fatherhood and, Henry's birth is where it all the scale started to tip. Okay. And I started to think, I don't want my kids to see that side of me. I don't want my kids thinking that their father is,
a schemer.
Right. And the scale's been tipping in the opposite direction further and further ever since.
Yeah.
Because I want them to grow up with all the ideals that I held in such a high regard, that I still hold in a high regard, and to not succumb to modern isms. Like nowadays, it's commonplace for people to just walk around work and public just talking slang. Just abbreviating everything, just shortcutting everything, just, everywhere I go. Facts, bro.
Well, I say facts.
But that's what I'm saying. We're shortcutting the English language. Like, that's not how you communicate. That's not how you speak a full sentence.
Well, no, most people don't speak in full sentences.
And that just shows how ignorant we've become.
I don't know if it's a sign of ignorance as much as it is. I mean, I see your point.
Because we're also at a point where you can't correct somebody, regardless of what it's for and regardless of the intent. If you try to correct someone's wrong information, even if it's for their benefit, it's not. Everyone feels personally attacked when corrected.
Yes, I believe that most people have gone soft. I have no doubt that someone will tell me that that's not PC to say, but the fact of the matter is that everyone around should just nut up a little bit more and understand that just because your feelings got hurt doesn't mean anything. Like, everyone is so sensitive to everything right now. And I hate it. Mm-hmm. I truly hate it.
Right there with you.
Because I believe that this whole idea of, living under the rule, this PC regime, I guess, is like, the idea that it's the death of honesty is what it is that we are no longer permitted at this point to have honest opinions and hold honest conversations with each other, because heaven for fucking bid you offend someone and you hurt their little baby feelings, and that is just, it's bullshit. Because if I have to change my behavior to accommodate another person, they are entitled. That is just my reinforcing their sense of self-entitlement. And I won't do that because I do not have a sense of self-entitlement. I do not believe that I am owed anything because I am, or I feel, or I think. Period.
How many times have you ever seen me take a handout?
Well, you don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many times have you ever seen me take a loan, ask for a favor from anyone?
Rarely.
Because I don't want to owe anybody anything. I can do things on my own, and that's how I've always preferred to conduct myself. But people ask me for stuff all the time.
Well, people don't ask you for things as much as they tell you to do them.
Right, but then they'll say that they're asking, and I'll call them out on their bullshit because I usually don't get asked. I get told things need to be done, and you're the one who has to do them.
And that's just it, is that when you talk about that, you're talking about dealing with people who believe that they have reached a point where they do not need to ask or be polite or be courteous.
Which those mannerisms have seeped into my brain and got me to act similarly because I've become so accustomed to it. Like, I've always thought of myself as a copycat, for lack of a better phrase, but like, I assimilate to the mannerisms of the people around me. I always have.
Mimic.
Sure. Yeah. I just, the traits of the people I spend my most time with, I become very much like. Okay. And that has worked to my detriment a lot. Okay. So I have struggled in my life to become my own person. I have been led to believe that people who are older automatically know more, know better. They're smarter. They know everything. If someone's older than you, they have more life experience, and that means that, their judgment is to be trusted above everything else.
Right.
In my life experience, not true at all.
No.
When I have to lecture people who are 10, 20, 30, 40 years older than me about honesty, about telling the truth, about not telling white lies, about not trying to get away with stuff, I'm the dumb kid who's covered in tattoos, who still acts kind of like, a bratty punk or whatever people's perception of me is. But yet I'm the one, in many instances, in many areas of my life, lecturing people on what's right and wrong. And trying to impart that not out of snobbery, not out of some superiority complex. It's because it's what I was taught to believe from birth, that what is right is right. What is just is just. And nobody seems to hold that in a regard anymore.
I don't know. I really don't know if I was raised by the idea of the golden rule, but I would say probably since I turned 30, I have lived nothing but the golden rule. And the golden rule is, of course, that you treat others the way you want to be treated. You do unto others the way you would have them do unto you. And that is just it. And that's where my intolerance for intolerance comes in. And that goes in every fucking direction you can imagine. I disapprove of people's entitlement. I disapprove, and that is based on anything. Any criteria you can come up with. Age, degree of education, race, gender, religion, sexuality, gender identity. I don't give a fuck about what it is. I will not kowtow to you because you have some high and mighty reason, some highfalutin explanation for why you deserve to be treated differently. Period. Because I will not treat you any worse than I would want you to treat me. But I'm also not going to sit here and bitch and moan when you don't treat me that way. Period. I'm not going to do it. And that's where the biggest hypocrisy is for me, is because I see people who cry and moan and bitch about not being treated nice enough. Nice enough? What? Like, how nice are you to these people? Well, I shouldn't have to be nice to them because I am A, B, and C. Fuck you.
So earlier today, I texted you that there was a queer flag outside the Episcopalian Church. Episcopal Church. Now, the queer flag is the gay with the pink and the gray and all the new stuff added to it, right?
That's the inclusive flag.
Inclusive flag, okay. And so I'm like, oh, that's new. I haven't seen that yet. But it's a church.
Yeah.
A Christian church, Christian-based church with that flag.
Yeah.
And as you know, I was raised a Roman Catholic. Been a Roman Catholic my entire life.
Yeah.
And I am still to this day of the firm belief that you cannot actually... Christianity is the umbrella term, which a lot of people don't really understand. There's Catholicism, there's Episcopalian, there's Lutheran.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of denominations, okay? They're called denominations. Christianity is the umbrella term.
Yes.
Okay? It is still my firm belief that you cannot actually be a real Christian, a true-to-life Christian, and then still exercise some sort of bias towards groups of people. Now, I have nothing against gays, trans, queers, whatever, okay? Your life, your choice, you do whatever you want. I also don't believe in the harassment of these groups, okay? But you have people who claim membership to these religions, not even just Christianity, but all religions, who preach equality, inclusivity, and all these things, but it's always under their breath, except for the certain groups, the ones that don't fall in line with all of their major ideals.
Right.
So again, I'm a lifelong Roman Catholic. I still attend church. I still believe in everyone's equality, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, age. What do I care if they want to have their flag outside that church? What do I care if they want to have a parade? Doesn't matter to me. If it makes them happy, sure. As long as you're not shoving it in my face, that's fine. But the problem I have is with the people who claim... Now, again, I have gotten so many dirty looks from people over the course of my entire life going to church just for having long hair, having tattoos, dressing a certain way, thinking a certain way, saying certain things. But to me, those people will never be true Christians.
No.
Until they own their own bias.
Yes.
Now, I guarantee that there's going to be... I'm sorry to cut you off, but I guarantee there's going to be people who say, I'm wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't have it all straight, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm sorry to cut you off, I was going to say that there's probably going to be plenty of people out there who are going to say that you are... They're going to misinterpret what you're saying. They're going to think that you are pitting the idea of being a good Christian against the idea of being inclusive. And the fact of the matter is that those are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they are very related ideals. And people don't want to believe that. People need to believe that there is a reason for hate. And they will label a reason for it. So you being a proud Christian does not mean that you are anti anything.
7 weeks from now, we're going to a lesbian wedding.
It should be fun.
I've always wanted to be the best man at a lesbian wedding.
You're not going to be the best man at a lesbian wedding.
You're
going to sit in the back with the rest of us.
Friends that are gay, black, Hispanic, trans, male, female, old, young.
And just because you don't want to be any of those things doesn't mean you disregard their choice, their lifestyle, or their equality. You don't do those things.
I used to befriend the mentally challenged kids in grade school. There was a kid who I'd known since kindergarten. He was in a wheelchair from the time I met him. He was not supposed to make it past 12, and he luckily made it to 24. By the time we got to high school, the age-old story is that I could always be seen in any given place playing my guitar, carrying it around, whatever. And this kid would roll up to me and ask if he could play it. And now, I'm not going to say no to him. Why the hell not? And I would have to hold it up for him because he couldn't hold it himself. And he wasn't playing anything really all that musical, but he was enjoying himself. And that brought me a lot of joy because we didn't know how much more time we had with this kid.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, as I watched people walk by and look at us, I thought the worst possible thoughts because I thought, what could they be thinking? Why are you looking at me like that? And the thing is that people like that, mentally handicapped people, still kind of get treated like shit nowadays just for being what they are. They didn't ask for that.
No.
But people will preach that they're so tolerant, that they're so benevolent. And then still behind closed doors, and it's not even just in regards to mentally handicapped. It's all walks of life. People will say one thing in public, but then think another in private.
Yes. And I don't think I have as much of a problem with people having double standards and being hypocrites as much as I do with the fact that they refuse to own it.
See, I started talking about the tipping of the scales,
Yeah.
After becoming a parent. My entire life, I never wanted to admit when I was wrong. I never wanted to own up to any of my mistakes. It gave me the worst feeling in the pit of my stomach to admit when I'd actively set out to do something wrong just to see if I could get away with it.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, that feeling started to go away because I realized that I was doing the right thing when I owned up to my mistakes.
Yes.
So as I got older, when I made I wasn't as worried about the consequences as I got older, but I realized that taking it on the chin is not all that bad. You learn. It's a learning experience. When you make a mistake, you learn from it. It's not the end of the world, but a lot of people still treat it like it's the end of the world. So when you tell a white lie, when you inconvenience somebody, when you cut someone off at an intersection, whatever it is, or when you make somebody angry with your opinion or, whatever, you do the right thing. You apologize. You make amends. You do something that's going to, A, correct the problem, B, prevent it from ever happening again, or at least make an effort to try and prevent it from happening again.
Yeah.
But that has to be the goal, because there's no progress otherwise.
Yes.
And again, if people held these ideas in a high enough regard, I think we'd all be a lot better off.
Do you think we're regressing?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Like, where do you think it's going to end? Where do you think the end point is? If we continue to regress in this way, where do you think it's going to end? Because I think it's going to end with...
I've said to
it's like almost kind of like cave people.
I've said to people before, there's no reason to look at history because it doesn't determine the future. Like, we can change the future if we really want to, but we don't have to look to the past and emulate it.
No. But
the conversations that I've had with people, it usually goes in the direction of, well, we have to look at history and know where we've been, and it sets up the future basically. And it's like, but it doesn't have to.
It just gives you information,
right.
And with that information, you can then choose what to do. Mm-hmm. Everyone says, know your history or be doomed to repeat it, kind of a thing, and it's just like, no. Because even if you don't know what happened, it doesn't mean you're going to do what happened.
I was reading up on Napoleon earlier this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't know that he was born to Italian parents.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
How did he become...
He moved to France.
That's all it takes? You just moved to France?
And
I'll go to France right now.
He actually, of course, in this day and age, someone will be like, where'd you get your information from? Oh, that's all BS.
Yeah.
But apparently he did a lot of good for a lot of people before he was exiled and died of stomach cancer.
Yeah.
But that's not what you hear. That's not what information gets passed around. He was just the asshole with his hand in his shirt.
He was a small fella, too. That's
Italians usually are.
No.
I was graced with being the tallest in my family out of 6.
I don't know. I think that we're going to get to a point where we're going to start to die off. Because we're gonna... I'm not saying anytime soon.
That's a sad way of looking at it.
Not anytime soon. Like, the sun could burn out before we get to that point.
But see, this is precise. This is one of the reasons why I've stopped driving on the highway. Because now... And I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but, like, there's a trigger going off in my brain when I get on the highway now that makes me panic. It makes me fear the worst. So much so that I can't even merge. I can't merge into the next lane. So now I take back roads going everywhere because I'm terrified of the way people drive, because nobody signals, nobody looks, nobody considers the people around them. So as soon as you see somebody doing anything, the instinct is to honk the horn, flip them off, speed past.
Yeah.
I encounter that every day because I drive a mail truck. And so now it's the actions of others that are predetermining mine, because people don't want to consider anyone but themselves.
It's unfortunate. I don't think it's...
I think that's a regression, yeah.
I don't think it's everybody is the thing, but I don't think the people who are not... I don't think the people on the, what I'm going to call the right side of it, I don't think those people are vocal enough to... I don't think they're aggressive enough in their need to assist with change.
And it's that apathy that's leading to regression.
Yeah.
So,
we're making it way too easy for people to be hypocrites.
I am actively trying to encourage people to speak up, to say what's on their mind, to do what's right, to when they're being wronged, to do something to change it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? What is the possible worst outcome? Is it really going to detrimentally affect your life all that much?
That's a good question.
That's something we all have to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think this was a very thought-provoking talk.
We could continue to go on, obviously, but I think it was good. I think that this is one of those sort of...
I'm sorry for bitching the whole time, but...
Listen, everybody needs a good bitch sesh every once in a while, but this is one of those conversations and one of those topics, especially, that are bound to spiderweb. Like, you start with one point, and it is going to go off in a dozen different directions.
I can't wait to listen to this one. Tuesday can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the air back on.
Oh, God, right? Now that the thunder has stopped.
Fuck you, fucking thunder.
Thank you so much for listening to that talking podcast. This has been a blast, and
so has this.
what the hell? Go for it.
Non-central air.
No, seriously. Stay hydrated, stay cool, stay indoors and away from the fucking hellfire of the sun. Find us on social media, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. We are on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Thank you, Andy, for our theme song.
Thanks for being my wife.
Aww.
People say that I talk about you often when I'm not around you. I mean, it's
I've been told.
It's true.
It's true. I have been. It's been mentioned to me. I like it.
I very much like being married to you.
I like being married to you. And I like that we have the opportunity to do this together.
I'm a straight shooter. I don't lie about shit.
I appreciate that.
Not anymore.
One of those things that I really like about you. So yes, thank you again for listening. Catch us on the flip side. From the 3 of us here at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star.
I'm Downtown Andy, and we're going to make out now.
We'll talk to you later. Bye!